and girls main event video presents the weirdest assortment of vehicles you'll ever see. These are the Street Freaks. We're gonna take you on a wild ride all over the country. From Monster Truck Weekend, the Street Machine and Hot Rod events, to Daytona Beach's famous bike week. So get ready for a fast-paced ride into the world of Street Freaks.
No one knows when it began. Over 10 years later, a phenomenon called Bike Week happens every first week in March. The lure, of course, is the motorcycle races at the Daytona 500 Speedway. But the magic is the gathering of over 150,000 motorcyclists from all over the world into this tiny beach resort town. The races continue all week long, but the action is really downtown.
Yeah, well, you read in the paper the other day, just greasy, nasty, dirty, slimy bikers.
What am I doing here? I'm here every year and I love the show. I love it. I love the bikers. I love everything. I love them all.
Well, I only came last night over the bridge, over the new bridge. It's a long ride over the Atlantic.
This is Daytona Beach, famous for the Daytona 500, Easter recess, and the 26-mile beach driving strip. No one knows when it began, but over 10 years later, a phenomenon called Bike Week happens every first week in March. Bike Week is highlighted every year on Saturday at the Boardwalk Custom Choppers Show. Sponsored by Big Daddy Rat, alias Carl Smith, a Daytona businessman and entrepreneur, who started the Chopper Show 10 years ago in the back of the A&P parking lot.
You look at the crowd. As you can see, we're surrounded with very lovely Misas today, right? And another 100,000 people all around here that are enjoying it. It's a beautiful day, and we have more bikes in this show than we've had for many, many years. I mean, there's so many things. It seems like every year there's something better and nicer and all that.
With over 300 entries, there were bikes of every description, from three-wheelers with V8 motors and full dressers with 1,000 chrome balls to the sleekest drag bikes and custom choppers.
Well, this is a Honda Goldwing, and it's called a Tri-Magnum. My husband built it from flat stock, urethane with fiberglass over. The bulkheads are plywood. Gives us 40 miles to the gallon.
Fantastic.
And I suggest everyone build it after they're retired so that you don't sit and rock on the front porch.
Oh, it's fascinating. Terrific.
What do you like best about it?
I like the different people you meet from all over the country, and it's just wonderful. Very nice. The bikes is stupendous.
Don't the outlaw gang scare you at all?
No, they're only people.
Really?
They're just people just like you and I. And I think they got more judgment against them than, I like everybody. I give everybody a chance.
Oh yeah, I get nervous. I worry about, people have got such an image built up against bikers that they think you're a bad guy right off the start. Suspicion, yeah. They think we're going to rob them, beat them, rape them.
The amount of people that see one officer issuing the citation after the fact, they don't see what goes on before the fact, so they can't say why the officer is issuing the citation. That may give a negative attitude.
Please recall it.
No.
We use discretion in who we arrest.
Please don't arrest me. I'm a good girl.
You pay your bribe today.
I did.
You didn't pay me.
We don't do anything motorcycle week that we don't do all year long. It's the same all year long. If there's a violation to be made, we make it.
Our primary responsibility on the beach is the safety of the pedestrians and the bathers.
A whole lot better.
How were the police unions?
A whole lot better. A whole lot better. Yeah, well, last year they were better than they were the year before. 3 years ago they were real rough. But the past 2 years they've changed tremendously. The dealings that I've had with them and seeing and all.
Were you ever arrested?
No, never been arrested and never had a ticket.
So, do those police harass you at all?
Yeah, they harassed us a lot. We were arrested like 3 times.
For what?
Well, we had open container on a beach 3 times.
We have the bikes come into the city. It's a beautiful city. We enjoy seeing new people, and I enjoy talking to new people, and I'm sure that all police officers in the city of Daytona Beach feel the same way.
This is the Daytona Speedway, which is used every February for the famous Daytona 500. The Enduro is a riding event for skill and balance. The rider takes his bike over an obstacle course for time. It's a very colorful activity and draws many spectators. The motocross is a dirt bike race where riders continuously race around sudden turns and over hills.
You're looking over a sea of colors, a multi-million-dollar collection of street iron. These are street machines, modified, radically altered Detroit metal, absolutely no two alike. Each one an expression of the owner's personality. These street buffs come together once a year in the Midwest for a national gathering of street machiners. It's a weekend of fun and excitement, of street cruising and perusing, comparing notes and reuniting old friendships. For them, it's the biggest weekend of their lives. The Rat Pack Car Club from Dayton, Ohio prepare their machines all year long for this one event. Here's Pat Crafton, car painter and leader of the pack.
Everybody builds a car all year for this one thing. It's been every one of them since 1977, the first one they had. There was 3 of us came up that year, and I think they had 1,300. The next year they had 2,500, and I think we brought about, it was about 8 of us that year. But it's a lot of fun.
Rough Street, what is it? These are the cars with the drag race look, only with custom paint jobs, decked out interiors, and supercharged motors. The winding of the blower drive, the open headers, the display of chrome and candy apple paint jobs is a mind-boggling display of sight and sound. Street machines cruising at the Nationals. It's the favorite pastime of young hot rodders from all over the country. Since the days of the 50s, from James Dean and car hops to drive-in movies, the street scene has never dulled and still hasn't peaked. This, boys and girls, is the Pro Street Experience. Exciting and colorful American phenomenon, the Street Machine Cruising Experience. Street machines from all over the country have gathered here today to parade and show off their machines to thousands of spectators. This is not just a car show, it's a street machine convention. Every kind of street iron imaginable is in Pro Street. Muscle cars, lowriders, superchargers, and thousands of other examples of the owner's creativity. Personalities on wheels, wild paint schemes, graphics, vivid colors. Doing it on the streets, it's Cruisin' USA. It's Cruisin' USA. It started in the 50s and it thrives in the 80s. From the drive-in hamburger joints on the Sunset Strip to Midwest dirt roads to New York City pavement, it's street cruisin'. Every car different. Every car unique. Every car a knockout. It's show-stopping time. These guys work all year long for just one thing and one thing only, getting their car ready for the street machine experience. In the party on wheels, it's cruising time. They've prepared all year and now they're here, looking up those old friends they haven't seen since last summer's cruise. It's a giant reunion of street machiners. And what brings all these street machiners together?
Oh, I love it. I think this is really great. This is what it'd be every year right here. Lots of cars and lots of parties.
I think it's a wild event, really. It's an enjoyable time. Everybody's having a good time.
Enjoyed it pretty much. I'm not too much of an auto buff, but I really got a kick out of some of these cars. It's nice about to let you get crazy at night, do your thing for a little while, and then go home, go to sleep.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, this is the parade of the monster trucks. What a nirvana for all you four-wheel and off-road freaks. The fad, started by the monster truck Bigfoot, has grown into an American institution. What you are seeing is the largest collection of four-wheel drive monster trucks ever. Look at them, Chevys, Fords, imports, even a four-wheel drive monster Camaro here on display. As far as the eye can see, parading down the street, strutting their stuff. Look at it, this is unbelievable. You've heard of the Thanksgiving Day Parade? Well, this is a monster truck parade. The finest in the country have gathered here today to be in the parade of a monster truck. Unbelievable, look at them, shiny chrome, high in the air with the biggest tires you've ever seen. What a great display of the nation's top four-wheel drive monster truck. This is it, the parade of the monster trucks, the biggest and the best. They're all here today. It's called the Mud Bog. 20 feet wide, 300 foot long. It's a big hole filled with mud. And all sorts of strange vehicles come out and try to get through it. Four-wheel drive, this is your nirvana. Test, the real test of man and machine. Now that's horsepower. The object to get to the end, 300 foot away, any way you can. some of the most unusual vehicles you'll ever see, trying to get to the end or stuck in the middle. All sorts of vehicles compete. Pickups, four-wheel drive, Blazers and Broncos, Jeeps, and even a collection of dirty young men. They're all trying to conquer the fog.
It's got some of the biggest tires that's out right now, which are 74, 44s. They're over 6 foot tall and almost 4 foot wide. It's got 5-ton military axles underneath it. It's got 2 transfer cases in it, a 2.5-ton, and it's also got a stock Chevrolet 4-wheel drive transfer case in it. It's got a 454 engine with a 671 supercharger on it. And Mom and I were talking the other night, and we were discussing where is it going to stop at. And we both kind of decided that it doesn't look like it's going to stop. We're just going to try to keep making a taller truck, each one of us. One of the newest things to do on a four-wheel drive circuit these days is called the obstacle course. It's a track designed to test man and machine, a series of obstacles. It's a challenge for all the four-wheel drive vehicles to twist and turn their way through the course. It's a man-made course made of hills, water holes, and a lot of mud. Drivers must negotiate track as fast as they can, maneuvering their way through the hay bales, the bumps, and to the finish.
So many cars, we got to way at the gate. Or we gonna have to do that.
How many cars do you have out there? What do you mean 2,500?
So many of them.
Well, let them in. Don't stop them. We need the money.
The spirit of street riding is very dominant with lovers of these fine automobiles. The Nationals is more than just a car show. It's a gathering of people and machines, a romantic involvement with antique cars modified with the state-of-the-art components. Our grandparents drove these types of cars decades ago, but I'm sure they never saw supercharged blowers, candy apple red paint jobs, dropped front ends, chopped tops, flame fenders, and a multitude of knickknacks which make up a street rod. What exactly is a street rod? A street rod, which is also referred to as a hot rod, is any pre-1948 car that's been altered to the individual taste of the builder. Absolutely no two cars are alike. A builder can add or take away any element in completing the desired product. He can reshape, restyle, or simply restore Detroit's original body style. What he's actually building is his own personality on wheels. In a sense, he is what he drives. Most important, they are not merely show cars, because street rods are built to be driven, and driven regularly. After all, that's the fun part. The fairgrounds were packed to capacity on Friday. Riders from all over the country converged into Cleveland for the long-awaited event. More cars entered this year than last, and it was hard to pin down the exact number as rods poured in all weekend long. Helmets adjusted, goggles in place, fire suits on. These mechanical spacemen are the funny car drivers. Strapped and buckled into their small cockpits, they prepare themselves for the nitro fire-up that starts a funny car race. Taking their cars through the water drops to moisten the rear tires. They get ready for the burnout. The most earth-shaking, ear-pounding aspect of preparation. The driver smokes his tires and lays a patch of rubber on the track to ensure a sure start and the utmost action. The car is back on the same patch and rev the 2,000 horsepower engine to max. In a race where tenths of a second are crucial, there is no room for error. Funny cars, despite their name, are not very funny.
Funny car? Well, it's a replica of a Detroit car. It's an all-glass body with aluminum inserts inside of it, which gives body strength and also protects the driver from fire, from the motor compartment. They run at speeds of 260 miles an hour to 270 now in less than 6 seconds and a quarter mile. Values about $35,000 in just the chassis and body and paint, and then probably another $30,000 in the motor. So you're looking at around $75,000 in a complete unit. They resemble a Detroit car, whether a Ford, Chevy, or Oldsmobile, but they're really an all-tube chassis, just like the dragsters. They're just quite a bit shorter. The dragsters may be 240 inches, these are 125 inches of the basic size of the car.
Okay, here we go with the first round of alcohol funny cars. Remember, the two quickie teams from this first round will get into the final for the alcohol funny car championship here at the Kmart Polaroid U.S. Auto Funny Car Championship. First out here in the left lane, out of Boston, Arnie Carpenter, infamous Boston Strangler. The car that won the NHRA Summer Nationals here just a month ago defeated hometown favorite Ace Manzo in the final. Only in the left lane, the Pepsi-Cola sponsored Boston Strangler. In the right-hand lane, it's Tony Arnone with a brand new Mustang SVO car. First year out on the circuit, he's out here with the big boys. Today, taking on Carpenter the Strangler. Definitely not our favorite here. Clark tries to find burnout again, and as you can see, he split the tires right off the line. Now it's going to be a driver's race for him. He's going to have to sort of, what they say, pedal it off the starting line. Clark doing another dry burnout to see if they can hook up on that elusive left lane starting line. So here we go, they're off. Clark off first, but he's a little bit out of shape. Arnone here, the right lane trying to pass him. Can he hold on? He has a little head of fire in the light, but gets it. Right lane is 744, losing 779. Next up is John Smokey Samlick in the Pleasure Stickers. And his competition out of Reading, Pennsylvania, Evil Satan Toy. Right lane, Pete Razzone, the new guy on the circuit, out here with a brand new car to him. He'll be taking on one of the respected regulars on the Alcohol Funny Car circuit on the East Coast, Johnny Samwick. He and his partner, Joey Alexander, been racing here at Raceway Park for 20 years since we opened. And he's definitely got the odds-on favorite here in the good right-hand lane. Here we go. Oh, what a whole shot by Smokey. Remember, Low E2 gets into the field. He having some problems. Smokey streaks. There's Low ET of the event so far, 6.52 seconds. That's the number all the other drivers are going to be shooting for here. Check out what's pulled into the police box now in the left-hand lane. Is that a pretty Corvette or what? Here's Joe Pinchot in the Peavy Brothers car. What a burnout, huh? Here Carl Root and his Corvette up head back. Pinchot here in the left lane, driving the Peavy Brothers car, the former jet dragster pilot, who was a former alcohol funny car pilot. So he's made the whole cycle, going to full 360 back in alcohol funny car. Carl Root in the right lane, without a doubt, the oldest driver here today. Probably in his mid-50s and still out here burning rubber. He loves the alky funny car. So shooting right now for that low 18. Remember, 652, what it's going to take to get in the final. That's low. So let's see. Here we go. Pulling it around. Intro and the crew. Ready to go. They're off. The green light by both cars. Intro out of third. And the late model Corvette looks like he's got a whole lot of win. He got a 657. So that puts him in the final. Here's Ed Carter, the car he calls the Cape Cutter, in the right-hand lane out of New England, taking on the Canadian-based car they call the Cardiac Kids with Larry Dobbs driving. These guys race each other each and every week on the circuit. They're out here at one of the biggest crowds of their life, watching them. Let's see what happens. They definitely want to beat each other here. So both drivers keep those big rear tires. They coast to a stop and start backing up towards the start line. Crew members guiding them back, making sure they line up into the same track where their burnout is. That's where the track is the steadiest. That's where they're going to get the most traction here today. So Larry Dobbs, the Canadian-based Cardiac Kids here in the left-hand lane, taking on that Cape Cutter Ed Parker, putting down the roof hatch down with all those fumes and smoke out of the car. It's dry burnout time. can catch him. No, Cape Codder gets it with a 7:58 to a quicker but losing 7:44. Next up, New York, Ron Scott. He's a chassis builder. He built this toy to a Bob Newberg car. He's in the right-hand lane, and his competition, Dickie Bell, here in the left lane. Bell with a super run out there. He's been running very, very well on the circuit as of late. Numbers 660, 650, 640s even. They're doing very, very well. Scott in the right-hand lane. He's a chassis builder. Built a lot of the alcohol cars you see here today. And he's out here trying to make sure his product is as good as it's supposed to be. Testing it himself. So here we go. Dick Bell in the left lane. Ronnie Scott in the right lane. Both cars very carefully bring it up to the starting line to make sure they're properly staged and those starting beams to shoot across the starting line. The bell's in, ready to go. Here comes Scott, pulling up very carefully. They're off. He's now got the whole shot there. He gets a lot of horsepower. Scott right alongside, but it looks like Bell's going to take it. There he goes. 650 laps on. That's what he sees, so that puts him and the Pleasure Seekers in the final. A close 6:53 in the right-hand lane by Scott. What a great side-by-side run there. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the biggest, heaviest, most powerful race car you've ever seen. Out of Boston, Massachusetts, Steve Cotugno's awesome Bowtown Express. 30 feet long, weighs a couple tons. It's powered by not one, but two Westinghouse J34 jet engines. 20,000 pounds of thrust. And when you see this thing go down the track, you aren't going to believe it. The engines out of Navy fancy jet fighter. One of them propelled a jet fighter at 600 miles per hour. Imagine what two of them can do on this monster. So Steve Cotugno bringing the Bowtown Express, the only twin-engine jet dragster in the world, to the starting line here. He's got it in smoke. Afterburn on it. Here he goes. Look at him blast and went on down the quarter mile. Both jet engines putting out gobs of horsepower. The Bowtown Express, 6.99 seconds. See the wind shoot, bringing that big, long, weedy run through to a halt at the end of the Raceway Park quarter mile. Get ready for another round of rump and stomp and funny car action. Here we are today at the Kmart Polaroid U.S. All-Pro Funny Car Championships, and everybody's here ready for the big funny car action that's coming up. Next pair coming out of the race box in the left-hand lane, the car they call the Alcoholic. Doug Hearson, the driver. Alcoholic named after the fuel that these cars use. Right lane, Pete Brazone in the Satan's Tour. We saw him in the first round. He's back out here trying to do a little bit better. Both drivers bringing their 2,000 horsepower alcohol cars to the line. The fuel's inside the cockpit really intense. Both drivers trying to clear their eyes before they get ready to make the trip of their life here today at the Kmart Polaroid U.S. All-Pro Funny Car Championships. Dry burnouts, they bring it to the line, checking the track, making sure they're going to get the traction they need. Both cars very carefully staging, pulling on up to the starting line. The start is the most important part of the drag strip. They both want to make sure that they do get a good start off the starting line. Let's watch them. Left lane moving out first, but likes the big red eye. Bell starts, so the wing will go to the right lane. Satan's Toy gets it with a 7.16 lap time, a whooping 7.31 for the Alcoholic. You think you're old? Here comes 59-year-old Carl Root, driving the pet bed out of Reading, taking on Ross Scott out of New York. Root has been drag racing racing for 30 years. One of the true veterans of the sport. He's run the gauntlet from pro stock up to alcohol funny car clubs to the sport of drag racing. Scott here in the right-hand lane at chassis builder. He built his car, and he makes sure it's safe by driving it himself. Rude's car was one of the biggest rear wings ever seen on a funny car. Really trying to get you to push down on the back of the car, get those big switch to light. The co-driver is backing up after their smoky burnout, getting prepared to fall towards the starting line. Grandpa Carl Ruth there in the left lane is the one man all these other drivers look up to for advice when they get to a tricky drag strip. Here he is, one up against Scott. Scott concentrating, trying to beat the old man at his game. He's been doing it a long time. He's off first. Carl Ruth with a big hole shot on the starting line. Scott was definitely making it to win the Ruth. Ruth gets it a 664 to a quitter, but losing 652. Next pair up, it's Larry Dobbs in the Cardiac Kids car out of Canada in the left lane. Right lane, Pennsylvania, Peter Gallo, the car is called poverty stricken, waiting to rear tires. It's time for a burnout. Peter, the right-hand lane, has been a big winner on the circuit as of late. Runner-up in a recent IHRA national event. He's definitely one of the cars to beat here. Larry Dobbs has paid his dues. He comes down to the US of A every week from Canada to race out here at the East Coast Drag Strip. He's been doing very, very well as of late, and is definitely here in the combination. So this should be a good pass. Both of these drivers know each other well. They respect each other. They're each going to run their own drag race here and trying to get from the starting line to the finish line as fast as they possibly can. 580 cubic inches of air, supercharged, fuel injected. They burn methanol, alcohol for the fuel. That's the only difference in the Nitro Big Brothers that you're going to see a little bit later. Poverty stricken with a diving platform out front. That's to his extended body, 10 inches at the finish line. To the legal 38 split. Here we go. Gallagher off the line first, and it's a good pass for both cars. Can't get any closer than this. A pair of 650s. There you go. A 653 for the win to a losing 655. Now pulling into the police box. Ed Parker, Kate Parker, taking on one of the only female drivers of a funny car, Carol Hinton. You wonder what makes a man want to drive an alcohol funny car. Well, how about a woman? Carol Hinton worked 2 jobs for 5 years just to be able to support her obsession, an alcohol funny car. She's one of the tops in the sport. You can see her backing up there in her right lane. Out of Alexandria, Virginia, taking on the New England-based Cape Cod Camaro of Ed Parker. These cars different only from their Nitro Big Brothers by the fuel they use. These cars run alcohol, which is about $28 cheaper a gallon than the Nitro. So other than the expense involved and without a sponsor, they have to run the alcohol. Parker does the drive burnout, checks out the starting line. Let's watch the lady. Staging very carefully, running out with the points to the end now. Carol not one to let a man and two there on the starting line. They're off. Parker at first, a little bit more horsepower off the line. Carol trying to catch him with the big end. Can she do it? No, Parker gets this time a 686 for the win to a losing 703 for the lady. Here come 2 of the prettiest alcohol funny cars you'll ever see. In the left lane, Arnie Carr driving the infamous Boston Strangler. Taking on ex-jet driver Joe Pietro in the beautiful PB Brothers Corvette. Both drivers letting those big power fingers heat up as they decide who is going to make the first burnout, who's making the first move. Mark first out of the burnout box, but didn't spin the tires the way he would have liked to. As you can see, Pedro really laying down his smoke screen, and it's very, very important to get those rear tires hot. So we will look at Carp and see if he can get the traction he needs off the starting line. Carp, usually consistent 6.5 second performer, had a little problem in the first round. He really liked to lay down a big number for fans of the Boston Strangler here. Check out that old wheel Forenza body is really moving low on the Strangler. Compared to the Corvette Era PD, a real sleek machine. Aerodynamics is the name of the game in 20 car racing, and these drivers are trying every trick they can to slice through the air. So we could see a good pass here. Both of these cars with experienced drivers taking a lot of horsepower here today. Both drivers making a dry burnout across the starting line to check their car, to check the reflexes, to make sure everything is right. Because in just a few seconds, they're going to experience 3 Gs in less time than it takes to light a cigarette in a car that's designed to do one thing, and go as fast as it can on a standing start quarter mile. Car's having problems, asking the crew chief to check the engine, pointing, making gestures. Everything evidently is okay as he's pulling the car into the main to stay. Notice the stripe on the rear tire of Pedro's car. That's so crew members can watch and see if the tire is staying off the starting line. The boat drivers very, very carefully staging. The boat from New England is kind of like a area grudge match going on here, and they both would definitely like to be together. Here we go. Bring the arms up, inching carefully into the base. There he is. They're off to a good start by both cars. They're both making tracks. This is going to be a good pass. Strangler takes the win that time, 6:43 to a 6:53. The quickest side-by-side pass by the Alcohol 20 cars here today. Ladies and gentlemen, this is it, the final run for the championship here in the Alcohol 20 car category. In the right lane, John Selleck in the Pleasure Seekers Ford Mustang. The body coming down in the left lane. Dickie Bell's Pontiac Firebird out of New Hampshire. This is the one for all of us here today. The final round for the Alcohol 20 car. Both cars being lined up by the crew chief into the burnout box, ready to make that all-important burnout. Selleck and his partner Joe Alexander from nearby Linden, New Jersey. Been racing here at Raceway Park for 20 years. They'll be in the right lane. Dickie Bell and his brother in the left lane out of New Hampshire. Traveled out here to Englishtown quite a lot, and they really like to race here. They love to put away the local boys here in the Alcohol 20 car final. Both of these drivers got here by virtue of their low ETs in the first round. Selleck ran a 6.52 second last time. Bell ran 6.50 for low ET. So they're going to battle it out here. Bell, if any, has a 2/100 of the second performance advantage. This race is going to be won on the starting line. Whoever moves first is most probably going to win